I wanted to make this video thanking Asgrim and the musician Asgrim, who is not only an awesome musician, but also a good friend. He has an eBay account, and I want to thank Bartertown Auctions for having this old magazine. It's a year 2000 issue of Sounds of Death magazine, and the cover there, usually the cover of this magazine was like a monster or a demon or a serial killer, but the year 2000 issue looks like they kind of did like the death metal Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse here. And as you can see, the price was usually always $6.66. And the magazine itself, the writers, if you wrote in mail-wise, they would say very kind of really terrible things to you. The magazine, if you look at where people write in from, it must have been distributed all over the world, because people in hardcore countries would write in and say, I don't have any money to get the magazine, but I love death metal, and if you could help me out, and the magazine actually would say back to the writer of the letter, well, why don't you sell some organs on the black market, see if you can make some money, and so you can buy our magazine, you cheap bastard. I mean, it was pretty rough. The magazine was pretty mean. So as you can see with the $6.66 price tag, they were pretty intent on being evil, and the stuff they wrote about reviews, and if there was any band that had any electronic stuff in their music, they were like, it's not hardcore enough. They were pretty hardcore, but I liked it because it's a really thick magazine for a death metal magazine, and it always came with a free CD. So I just got this copy. I haven't had a copy of this magazine for about 20 years, or 22 years, and I didn't pay for this issue. The magazine actually sent me this for free in the mail. And I guess the reason why was because obviously I wrote them a letter about a jacket that I had made in high school. I loved the calligraphy of death metal bands. I loved how all the crazy lettering, and this is a long time ago, early 90s. And so I wanted a jacket that had all these different logos of different bands intertwined all over the jacket. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing it. And it took me, 4 years to really complete it. But I loved doing it so much. Once it was completely covered on the outside, I turned it inside out and started the inside too, and did the whole thing. And I made it as difficult as possible. I sewed it all by hand. I didn't use a machine. I wanted it to increase my patience. And so even if you look at the Morbid Angel logo, that cloth, every part of that logo, I actually sewed and double stitched and triple stitched every angle on the Morbid Angel logo. That's just as an example of how difficult I made the jacket. I did some weird stuff with it too. Somebody gave me, my family, a necklace, a cheap necklace from the flea market with a metal eyeball. I drilled holes in that eyeball, and I actually sewed the eyeball onto a Blood Feast patch. There was a creature coming out of the Blood Feast patch, and he only had one eye, and I sewed that eyeball, the metal eyeball, onto the creature's eye. I did some crazy stuff with that jacket. I had a lot of fun with it. And so I sent my article in talking about different bands giving me patches back then and saying, hey, sew this patch on your jacket. When I'd go to a concert, bands would just give me patches and say, hey, sew this on your jacket, take a picture of it with it on there and send it back to me. So I would do it. And so it was a pretty awesome jacket. But I'm such a minimalist, I eventually sold it on eBay for very little. I wanted a lot of money for it, but I just wanted to pass it on into the world. I used to be very much a minimalist, but still am. So all these years later, I decided I wanted another copy of the magazine. Like I said, Asgrim helped me get it because I don't have an eBay account. So thanks to him. And what is really funny about this magazine is, 666, very pro-demonic kind of stuff, but they got the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse here, the death metal version on the cover. And the article inside the magazine, they actually put my picture twice, And the really funny thing is they named the article "The Coat of Many Colors," which I don't know what they were thinking, but that's straight out of the Bible. So it's really funny that they did that. And that was just really hilarious, because I don't think anybody writing for this magazine did it on purpose. I don't know how that happened. But the coat of many colors is a reference to Joseph in the Bible. So it's really weird that they called the letter that when I wrote into the magazine that they called it that. Now, I haven't opened this yet. I'm just opening it now. I gave a copy of this letter to Asgrim because I don't know, I autographed it and gave it to him. And it was funny because I don't play an instrument. And he was like, how'd you get into a death metal magazine? You're not even playing an instrument. So anyway, and by the way, Daniil, nobody watches my channel. Nobody's going to know this. But Daniil, this was the background that I used for the Jason versus Techno Jason poster that I put up in the classroom. This was part of the background in case you didn't realize it. So, but I had some other stuff on there, and obviously, so you couldn't really tell. But without the logo, this was one of the main parts of the background. Anyway, so let's see. Where is this article? So it's bringing back memories looking at this, but I know it's in here somewhere. Okay, looks like, no, this is album reviews. I thought this was maybe the mail, but no. Okay, so here's the CD that S.O.D always came with. What else? Let's see. Where's this article? Okay, I think here's the write-in, maybe? Where's the letters? Where are the letters? So, as you can see, it's like, full of upside down crosses and all kinds of pentagrams and all kinds of satanic stuff. But it's just funny that they called my letter "The Coat of Many Colors." See, look, upside down crosses, pentagrams, they're full of that stuff. Matter of fact, right next to my letter is a very demonic band. Where is it? Been too long since I've seen this magazine. I don't know where it is. I must have passed it. It's in here somewhere. All right, maybe it's at the beginning. Okay, let's start over. Hate mail. I went right past it. Okay, here it is. It's on page 2. Page 3. Page 3 I'm on. So, here it is, "The Coat of Many Colors." That is the article I wrote. And then here they put 2 pictures of me. This is the inside of the jacket. The outside was just as covered. But when you flipped it inside out, that's, But anyway, yeah, if you read these letters, some of the people are writing in from other countries, and they're like, "Oh, can you please? I can't afford the magazine." And they're like, "Yeah, why don't you sell your organs?" So they were pretty hardcore. But then, it's just funny. "The Coat of Many Colors" inside of a magazine that's just full of 666, just full of demonic stuff, and then 666, just really funny. But anyway. Thanks again, Asgrim, and thanks again, Bartertown Auctions. And, Daniil, there's the background that you were Techno Jason versus Techno Stickman. Yeah.